building the scenery because of the end result, I suppose. I also used to do a lot of do-it-yourself, so there's an affinity there. But the main difference between building scenery and doing it yourself is the fact that the scenery is never looked at closer than 30 feet away. And that makes an enormous difference to the quality of work that is needed. Not so much, how you approach the work, but it does mean that you can have lots of different skill levels of people. If you look around the hut, you can see odd bits of the scenery that we've made for past productions. There was a beanstalk for Jack and the Beanstalk. That was a sort of flat construction, and then we pulled it up with fishing wire, so it just flip-flopped up. There's odd bits of waves around that you can use for seaside scenes. We did a play a few years ago called Mac and Mabel about Mac Sennett. Part of the action of that play was in a silent film studio. If you think about the silent films, they were always girls tied on railway lines or going to be cut up by a huge circular saw. So we had to try and make things like a buzzsaw so that when she could then sort of be cut up by it. It was just a prop, it was just there, it was on scene for about 30 seconds and then you take it off again. We're pretty lucky, I think, as far as drama groups locally are concerned, with the facilities that we've got here. We do a range of scenery and sort of large props to build for our shows. Some of the things are fairly straightforward, a basic box set, just a selection of facts which are painted in different colours and made the scenery that way. Other things can be more experimental. I also do the stage management, which is, once we've got to the theatre, organising how the scenery is moved with a crew of people where necessary, or maybe just cueing the lighting and sound. For a pantomime, that's a really big task, sorting out who's going to move what for which scene. There's normally not much time to do it, normally very little practice for it, but you probably need a crew of sort of 8 or 10 people to work actively. That's a tiring job in the week or so beforehand. It's I normally come home from a rehearsal once we've got to the theatre, and get onto the computer and sort of retype the notes that I've given about Fred moving this bit of scenery and young Johnny moving that bit of scenery, all in the same order. So that's pretty gruelling. On the other hand, you'll have another play where you work hard to stay awake because there is so little to do on the stage management front.
Come, little rats, and quickly go beneath the decks, gnawing holes below the plumb line, where the sea will flow, to drag this ship and all its crew beneath the waves. It's up